back everyone for some more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney here on Nintendo Switch, and we're continuing on day 2 of the investigation where we're using the Mason system to look at events not only in the present but also the past. And last time we left off we were in the middle of being in Drew's studio. We were talking with Drew Misham, and that's where we're going to continue things on here. We're going to find out a little bit more, which we did find out at the end of the last episode, which I'm sorry if this is a spoiler if you guys have not seen this yet, but Drew Misham was in fact not the forger behind the notebook page that stripped Phoenix Wright of his attorney's badge. But we're going to be finding out more about that alongside other things from the past and present. But before we do that, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. So without further ado, but we're going to go ahead and pan right. And we are going to examine. We're going to examine the desk first. Maybe I'll just slide on over here for a closer look. Slide, S-A-D-L-E. And we're going to examine this. That's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? A stamp? Ah, please don't touch that. I'll get into trouble. That stamp belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. That's Zack and Valant, the Grammarys, isn't it? The post office issued that commemorative stamp last year, when the Grammarys were at the height of their popularity. Not anymore. Now that one of them has vanished off the face of the earth. Well, technically 2 of them. Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She watched them every time they came on TV, until the end. I see. That stamp's quite hard to come by, I hear. I still wonder how she got her hands on it. Commemorative stamp added to the court record. Commemorative stamp showing the Troop Grammary. Okay. We're gonna pan left. And then we're going to talk to Drew. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more. Where's the time to turn my attention to Vera? Well, I think it is time that we get to talk to Vera, so that's what I'm going to select. Mr. Misham, I have a request. Let me guess. You'd like to speak with my daughter. Can I? My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy. Extremely so, actually. With only one exception. Which was? Oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort. Please, let me speak with her. Alright. Uh-oh. This could be tough. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get her on our good side. We're gonna present the commemorative stamp. And then there's this. My stamp. Hey, she spoke. She can talk. Yeah, so the stamp. How can I keep her talking? Well, great magicians, aren't they? Isn't Troop Grammary amazing? Ah. Yes? Oh. I especially like those 2, Zack and Valant. I mean, they're just so magical. Phoenix, you gotta do better than that, dude. Aren't they? Aren't they? Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, magic, you know? Me too, me too. I love them. They're so cool. It's like magic, yeah. Alright, she's talking. Not saying much, but it's a start. I went and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Grammary Museum of Magic. The Grammary Museum, they have one of those? Guess it makes sense now they have their own commemorative stamp. So, have you been to one of those shows? Just once, when I was little, with Father. The Grammarys on stage. It was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together. They do it all. Yeah, maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this. You know, about Zack and Valant, maybe? Oh, sure. Alright, better get asking before she changes her mind. Don't go outside much. I like to paint in here. Why don't you like the outside? There's bad people out there. Well, true, but there are a lot of good people, too. Actually, I should tell you. She was almost kidnapped once. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. She said she went to the Grammar Museum. With you, in fact. Ah, yes, actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me. That person gave me a good luck charm. A good luck charm? For when I absolutely had to go outside. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it is. Father, I told you to keep that a secret. From that client, huh? This I have to hear about. So, your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things. I really like painting. A lot. Father is always very happy when I paint them exactly the same. So, you did this too? Oh, yes, that was my first job. Your first? All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips and the way the writer held the pen and the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope and analyze it on the computer. She seems happy. Odd. Her work was the last nail in the Grammarly coffin. I guess no one told her. I guess not. They're the best in the world. Huh? Oh, you mean Shoop Grammarly? Of course. Father gave it to me. Your father? But I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it. I guess I just took it. Yeah. Took it? Father got a letter from that person. That person? You mean that letter was from the client? Oh, we talked about the Grammarlies forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it. They're a sneaky one, this client. So they were trying to get on her good side. Commemorative stamp updated in the court record, sent from the real client. So, you met the person that asked you to do this job? And you talked with him? What's this about a good luck charm you received? I can't talk about it. Eh? If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told. Yeah, but I really have to know. Uh-oh. Right. Time to do some psych unlocking. Okay. Okay, what we're gonna do now is present the Magatama. Should probably save first. Let me see if it'll let me. The client. Yeah, it won't. You seem to trust this client. Quite a lot, in fact. I better not mess this up, then. Because they gave you this stamp? No, that's not why. They listened to me. To my problem. The problem that keeps you inside all the time? Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But, when I absolutely have to go out, all I had to do was use a good luck charm. Good luck charm that your client gave you? I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm? Actually, I think I do know what it is. I think it's this. This was what they gave you, wasn't it? Ah! The same bottle was over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right? I heard once, cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power. Ah, of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting anymore on that one. I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually. The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client? Make sure I pick Kristoff and not... Well, Kristoff's the only one here, so I've... Would have been horrible if I would pick Clavier instead, but Clavier is not even an option, so... This man is a friend of mine. Know him? His name is Kristoff Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually. I promised. I promised not to tell. Unlock successful. Okay, now we can get to the bottom of this. I'm sorry, I can't talk about the client. I promised. And if I break my promise, the spell won't work. I don't need a name anymore. I've got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, then. I think they might be the devil. Huh? Or maybe an angel. What do you mean? I saw it, or I think I saw it, when they gave me this. I saw the devil's face. Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's? No, the client was gentle, with a gentle smile. So, where did you see this devil then? It was so quick, I don't remember well, but that's when I knew that person wasn't like other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm. I'm not sure what this devil she saw was, but it's pretty clear that Kristoff Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. I'm sorry for what happened. If you want to apologize, try my client, Zach Gramery. Did I do something bad? What makes you think that? Your eyes, they're sad. Very sad. I'll put on my smile next time I come, I promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera. Oh, okay. Take care. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forger, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realized it, it was already too late. And now Drew's studio is checked off. We've got everything we need to go there, and the only place we need to go now in the past is the detention center. So without further ado, I should probably save. 7 years ago, detention center, visitor's room. Yeah, let's go ahead and save. I usually don't save during investigations, for those of you that follow my series, but I have a feeling with this Mason system, it's going to try to trip me up, and so far it hasn't. What strange sight doth mine eyes behold? Excuse me? 2 men on either side of a single transparent pane, yet it seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languages within these plexiglass confines. There's been no proof that I forged anything, nor proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits, and what, may I ask, awaits you? Little piano and a cold little hole in the wall. But, since you're here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnified Gramery, for one. Who pulled that trigger? Valant, or his partner Zach? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm gonna get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. I had to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Yes, he's made my attorney's badge disappear, and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows, yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Gramery killed Magnified. It's as good as a signed confession. That's certainly been public opinion's take on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back into the magic right away? As long as an audience waits with bated breath, there will be Valant. And also... Yes? Now that my partner has disappeared, Magnified's repertoire is mine. Valant Gramery has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Valant. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnified's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only Zach Gramery followed them. Let us not speak any more of who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else, actually. What might that be? I want to know what Magnified had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve? Perhaps you do not know. No way. A great magician never reveals his secrets. I didn't think it would be that easy. The audience must remain forever in the audience, bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. Okay, let's go ahead and save. I want to save before each of these. We're going to use the Magatama one last time. The trick up his sleeve. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. And that's what I'm going to find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder. Yes, a mentor respond to dramatic moves and dramatic finales. And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? My guess is it was a matter of life or death. Care to explain? Your troupe lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier, the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. Oh, I believe I do. This. Why, that's one of ours. Specially designed for your show, I gather. Single bullet, one shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder, Mr. Valant. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zack and Valant's quick draw shoot 'em. How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shoot 'em cancelled because someone might get hurt? Of course. What other reason could there be? Well, it could have been cancelled because someone had already been hurt. Fascinating, my Faustian forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot? Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he walks it with me. A life was sacrificed that the show might go on, and this shows who it was. But that's Zack Gramercy's wife, and Trucy's mother. Talassa, I believe, was her name. Ah! Alakazar. Ah! But how can you say this? How can you say she was struck by one of her bullets? Still in denial mode, eh? Talassa was at the greatest risk of being shot, and this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. What about this? Troupe Gramercy's performances were very, very popular. So popular they even made a commemorative stamp at the height of your fame. We were not merely the latest craze. We were an age. A golden age. It's all here on the stamp. There's Talassa, yes? Ugh. Trucy's mother is missing, I hear. What happened to her? I don't know. A part of his memory is still locked up. There is one thing you're failing to address. What's that? As you say, our troupe is a world unto itself. If our leader, Magnifi, was so inclined, he would hide... he could hide anything he wished with ease. But, Mr. Wright, then he would have hid a crime, making him an accomplice. Not a great foundation for blackmail. Valant's got a point. If one of the troupe members died in an accident and Magnifi covered it up, his innocence would come into question. Found the right address, Mr. Wright? I'm so close. There has to be something about how Talassa's death could affect Zack and Valant's relationship with Magnifi. I see in your eyes you still have something to say. How can you possibly prove more than you already have? I'll prove why Talassa's accident tied your hands so completely, and I'll be doing it with a person. It's going to take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands, and this information proves why Magnifi held so much power over you. It wasn't a question of who shot Talassa. Talassa herself was the problem. What do you mean? She was Zack Gramercy's wife, Trucy's mother, and Magnifi Gramercy's only daughter. There was a terrible accident, and the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If that wasn't the key to Magnifi's power over you, I don't know what was. It was an accident. Oh boy. I'm not successful. Okay, let's get a little bit more info. There's no proof, none at all. But Talassa went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. Ours was a complex family. You mean Troop Gramarye? The master, McAfee Gramarye, his only daughter, and his 2 disciples. That does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Do not be tempted in the faulty flights of fancy. Yes, there was an accident, but that is all it was. An accident. Zack and Valant's tour de force. The guns blaze, the bullets fly straight toward that beautiful body on stage, and then crash, zing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing. Same trick with a new twist. And tragedy. Yep. But as for whose bullet stole Talassa's life, we shall never know the answer. Talassa disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of his wife. Trucy lost her mother, and McAfee his daughter. And that led to blackmail, I take it. It is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtain falls. Why did McAfee Gramarye try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died. All I can say is, it was a critical time for Troop Gramarye. A passing of the torch from McAfee to Zack and Valant. We all sacrificed so it might be a success. Talassa's death was the greatest sacrifice of all. Yet, even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not. What do you mean? In time, we, myself and Zack, found we could no longer oppose McAfee's wishes. McAfee forced us to perform his art for his benefit. I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter. But do you not find cowardice in his actions? Huh? To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing, but then to hang that death as a guillotine above our heads? Things were dark behind the scenes in Troop Gramarye, that's for sure. Does Trucy know? She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life? True. I had not thought of that accident for a very long time. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot. Not to find McAfee's slayer, I should think. True. Ah. After that accident, there was one who came sniffing quite persistently. A reporter? He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking about the dressing room, doing his research. Would you happen to remember his name? What was his name? Sorry, I've forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zack. I liked him not. I see. His name, I do not recall, but his scent. The cloying aroma of mint. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often. I see. Thanks for your help. It does no good to interfere with the past, mister, right? You will not uncover answers, only wounds. I'm sorry. I had begun to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Gramarye, and I began to realize what I had to do. I had to protect Trucy from that darkness. The reporter he mentioned, the newsman, I never learned who that was at the time. Though I got a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile and the sickly sweet smell of mint. The last floss thin thread connecting Zack Gramarye to this world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. Okay, we have completely done everything in the past. Now the only thing we gotta do now is the present. And we've opened up Drew's Studio and Sunshine Coliseum. But I think where we're gonna go now, which I'm gonna go ahead and save. Still want to go a little bit more yet before I end this episode. We are going to head back to Drew's Studio for this one, but this time we're going to go present day. Present day, Drew's Studio. Hey, well, what do we have here? Remember me? Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar, end quote. Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Mission was poisoned, and his daughters... Oh yes, I know. Oh, how I know, yes. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he tracked down case just a little quicker, end quote. Were you on the trail of this case the whole time? Zack Gramarye was a good friend. Zack said something to that effect back at the Bush Bowl Club. What a character, what a man. If a little No, a lot. No, extremely rough around the edges. Do you think I could ask you a few questions? Oh, you serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not other way around, end quote. Fine, shoot. I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately. It was tragic what happened to Drew Misham and his daughter. Forgery is a serious crime, and they paid the price. You know what really did them in, though, don't you? Yes, a forged diary page. The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Misham I hadn't known. What's that? You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years. Walls have ears, potatoes have eyes, end quote. Being watched? You mean he felt guilty? No, I'm not talking about feelings here. You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of neck, freaks out, end quote. Because you felt guilty? Why would I feel guilty? You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. Drew Misham felt like he was being watched. And you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves? Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago, but I felt it too. Journalist sure he is being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Emery got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then, for 7 years, he talks to no one, not a soul. Then, just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made. And then, he dies. Starting to put the pieces together, are we? And you were being watched this whole time? Maybe not just me, maybe you were too. Me? I met Zach through that case, actually. You mean the shooting of Magnifi Grammary? No, before that. It's not widely known. You mean the accident? During the quick draw shooting practice? My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy, all for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now. Valant Grammary did mention one particularly nosy reporter. In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnifi Grammary at the time. I knew his daughter, too, of course. Talassa, was it? Really? Then Talassa disappeared, quite suddenly at that, and Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy, end quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Talassa's husband, see? Zach Grammary. Something strange was in the air over at Troop Grammary in those days. The whole screwy mentor-controlling disciples scene had started by then, I'm guessing. Talassa, she was part of it all, right? Come on, you can tell me, off the record. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times, but over time he came to see me as his confidant. He's been waiting this whole time. 7 years, eh? Waiting. For his big comeback, of course. A big revival of Magnifi Miracle. Of course it was all a dream. Because of this. The performance rates. In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rates to both Zach and Valant? So Valant waited until Zach died, legally at least. The time finally comes, and Valant's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know. If that document sees the legal light of day, it's going to put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that Valant Grammary. Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too. Love? It's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and the mentor's only daughter. What has 3 sides and all of them pointy? A love triangle. That is pretty classic. When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like family. One with entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing, and in the middle of all this, Talassa has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Talassa. Which I'm gonna go ahead and save here real quick. I'm not done yet. We're gonna actually present something to this dude. Mr. Brushel, do you know this person? Do I know that person? Of course. I was friends with Zack, after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. But still, I'd never forget his wife. Thalassa Gramarye. McAfee Gramarye's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? So, Thalassa married Zack and had Juicy, see? It was her second marriage, actually. You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before. Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. Apparently he died during some gig. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year. I didn't know. Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know. I've known Juicy since she was a little thing, too. She got the better deal, really. She got you for family, after all. What do you mean? Just reminiscing, you know. Thalassa has another child besides Juicy, end quote. What? But Juicy said she was the only child. Ah, yes, this one she had with her previous husband. Her previous husband? Her first husband who died during a performance? Yep, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. Thalassa had another child. Do you think I could borrow that photo? Sure, I could be generous on occasion, you know. Thalassa's portrait added to the court record. Photo of a young Thalassa, Juicy's mother. I won't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Juicy before I forget. People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think? I was too busy wondering about bigger to listen to what you were saying. Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think. Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next. Next, you say? I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. McAfee. I was just wondering what McAfee would think of all of this. What do you mean? Haven't you seen it in Juicy? She's got his power. You mean how I can't lie to Juicy? It was the same with McAfee, and with his daughter, Thalassa. That's a strange thing. You think it's some Gramarye gene? McAfee told me once, back when Zack married Thalassa. He said Zack had good eyes. But not good like a Gramarye's eyes. Not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. Who knows what the Gramarye secret was? Maybe nobody, now that Zack's gone. Zack Gramarye. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Gramarye fabric and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Gramarye's power. A power which passed from McAfee Gramarye to Thalassa to the next generation, and I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. Okay, we got a checkmark by Drew Studio. And that is where I'm going to call it for this episode. And the next time I see you guys, we are going to be heading to the Borscht Bowl Club. And we are going to speak with Zack a little bit more. And this time we're going to be unlocking some secrets that he's holding. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. As well as the next episode, I should mention, we will be finishing this Mason System investigation. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.